Hello, and welcome to English Logica's Expressions series. Today, we're looking at interesting expressions with food and giving different examples. Let's start with the apple of my eye. When someone says the apple of my eye, they are referring to their favorite person or the one they love the most. This phrase is usually used in an informal setting. I love my son so much. He is the apple of my eye. I miss my dog. She was the apple of my eye. Bigger fish to fry. The saying, bigger fish to fry, is used when you have a problem, but there is also a bigger problem at hand that you need to turn your attention to. It can also mean there is something more important or more interesting to do. We'll have to come back to that later. We have bigger fish to fry at the moment. I'd like to plan a trip for our employees to keep morale high. We have bigger fish to fry right now. Our biggest competitor opened a branch across the street. Go bananas. Similar to the phrase go ape, when someone goes bananas, they lose their temper or go crazy. The boss is so impatient. He goes bananas over the smallest things. I better close this sale. They'll go bananas if I arrive back to the office without it. Bring home the bacon. To bring home the bacon can mean to win the prize or achieve the goal you were aiming for. It can also mean bringing money or a regular salary home. Best of luck in your interview today. Bring home the bacon. I really hope he gets the job. We need someone to bring home the bacon. The big cheese. Similar to the phrases head honcho or top dog, when someone is considered the big cheese, they are the most important person in the company. When I finish college, I'm going to become the big cheese in New York. I enjoy the weekly presentations with the project manager of the company. It's no surprise that he's the big cheese. Butter him, her up. When someone butters someone up, it can mean to flatter someone. When we use it to talk about someone else buttering someone up, it usually means that they have an ulterior motive. I need to request next week off as holidays. I'm not sure if I'll be approved as it's very short notice. I better butter the boss up for the week. That employee has made me cups of coffee every morning this week. I wonder why they're buttering me up so much. Easy as pie. The phrase easy as pie is used when something is very easy and was a pleasure to complete. Thanks for getting those files to me yesterday. No problem at all. It was easy as pie. I did 5 years of invoicing, so when I help out in payroll, it's as easy as pie. have beef with someone. When someone has beef with someone, it can mean they have an unresolved dispute or disagreement. This phrase is more common informally. Those two guys have beef. I can't see them getting on anytime soon. I know you'd rather not work on Saturdays because you have beef with James, but you both need to resolve this as we have work to do. Egg someone on. This phrase usually carries a negative connotation. So when someone eggs someone on, it can mean to incite or encourage someone to do something socially unacceptable or criminal. A board member egged on the chairperson to sell a percentage of their stake in the company. If I egg her on, she'll dig herself a hole and probably get fired. The icing on the cake. Similar to the phrase, to top it all off, when someone uses the icing on the cake, it can mean an attractive but sometimes non-essential addition, meaning enough was achieved but more can still be done. We got the company on board with us for next year, but the icing on the cake was the 10 cases of wine they sent afterwards. I was so happy when I got my new job, but the icing on the cake was hearing that I got a company car too. Take it with a pinch of salt. When someone says, take it with a pinch of salt, they mean to consider what has been said and don't be so quick to believe it. I would take what that person says with a pinch of salt. He used to be so intriguing, but lately I take everything he says with a pinch of salt. 2 peas in a pod. When the phrase 2 peas in a pod is used, it can mean that 2 people or things are very similar in a lot of ways. The 2 top performing employees are best friends. They are like 2 peas in a pod. I met a new friend at a seminar last month. Since then, I've noticed how alike we are. We're like 2 peas in a pod. So, that concludes part 2 of our expressions with food. Don't forget to like or comment on our video. To access more of our unmissable content, visit EnglishLogica.com and join our growing community of English learners.